Welcome to Deadly Dames. So this is this week's pickup video, and I've got a little mad, but I have a really good excuse for it because on Monday I actually went for a new job interview, and it was a job that I really wanted and I really hoped that it went really well. It's for the same company but just a different job, and because I've been so stressed waiting for the answers to whether I got the job, I've kind of spent a lot of money and picked up loads of movies. It's how I cope with stressful situations. I buy films, so we've all got our things. Mine's is movies. So first thing I did is after watching Uncle Buck, I've been right in the mood for 80s comedy. So I went into, actually Missing in Glasgow, because I've got a 50% sale, so a lot of the movies are like down to 50 pence. So if you're in the mood for an older film, or just like maybe a movie you've not been entirely sure of, and you don't want to spend a fortune on it, 50p, you can't really go wrong with that. So I went in there and I picked up a couple of 80s ones. Now I've watched a few of them, and the funny thing is, like, I've seen a couple of these movies before and I remember really liking them, but I've obviously just been too young to fully understand what the movie was about, because now I've rewatched them, they're definitely not as good as I remember. So the first film that I picked up was The Money Pit. So there, that was better. I remember thinking this was hilarious, and don't get me wrong, there's actually some scenes in this which were entertaining, but the whole affair storyline, I just thought it was stupid and it really annoyed me. And I mean, she thought she had an affair and was raging at him because he was pissed off at her for having an affair, and it turned out that she didn't actually have an affair, but she wouldn't forgive him and tell him the truth, because how dare he be angry at her for having an affair. I just thought that was right stupid, and I thought it ruined the movie for me. And then I got Private Benjamin, which again I remember really thinking this movie was really funny, and it is to an extent. Like, the beginning of it's really good, and Goldie Hawn's really good in the movie, but the whole, like, she didn't learn anything at the end. She went straight back to her old ways, and don't get me wrong, right at the very end she flipped back and learned a lesson, but really she shouldn't have had to have done that. She should have learned her lesson before it got that far. So it kind of ruined it for me as well. It's, in a way, like, it's bad when you rewatch a movie that you remember loving and or really liking, and then you watch it and you realise this movie, like Howard the Duck, and try to figure other ones like Troll. These are movies that I remember when I was younger and actually liking. Now I've watched them as an adult. Troll's still enjoyable, but it's nowhere near as scary as I remember it being. So I suppose in a good way, like, in a bad way, you watch movies that you remember liking and realising you don't really like them anymore. But in a good way, you now realise that they're not that great, so you don't make a fool of yourself and recommend them to people and tell people that they're good. So I suppose there's a bonus to that. I also picked up Mannequin, which is still as good as I remember it. I really enjoy Mannequin. It's just cheesy popcorn fun, and I certainly will be hanging on to this one. Now, these two I haven't had a chance to watch since picking them up, but I got, again, staying on the John Candy theme, I picked up Planes, Trains and Automobiles. I'm really hoping this one is as good as I remember it being, because I remember thinking this was hilarious. So I'm hoping that when I do my little throwback day, that this is still as good as I remember. And then this is one that I actually have never seen, so I got The Jerk with Steve Martin. I've heard a lot about it. Again, for 50 pence, I'm really not that fussed about giving it a go. So yeah, that was all my 80s throwbacks that I got. A couple of randoms that I picked up were... This just, something inside me is telling me... Something inside me, that just sounds wrong. But something is telling me that I've actually seen this movie already. And I'm going to apologise to you guys if I'm shouting. I was at the Rob Zombie gig last night, which was amazing. But since the gig, my left ear is just going eeeeee. So I actually can't hear very well. So if I am shouting, I do apologise. Midnight Movie. So yeah, something's telling me I've actually seen this, but I can't 100% remember. But again, as I said, it was really cheap, so I figured why not, we'll give it a go. And I also picked up Abbott and Costello meets The Invisible Man. It does have Goes to Mars on it as well, but I've never seen The Invisible Man, and I've just recently watched Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein again and remembered how funny it was, so I figured for the price that it was, I really didn't mind giving this one a go. And then I was in Asda and spied this one, And I'm actually very weary about giving these sort of cheesy horror films a go when you see them in Asda, because a lot of the time you pick them up and are utter crap. But this one sounded like the graphic novel Crossed, so if you've ever read Crossed, you know it really does put the graphic into graphic novel, because it's like, I remember one of the first pages I opened to, I was like, holy crap, and it actually was like nightmarish, it was horrible. And this just kind of reminded me of it. So LA Contagion. I figured it wasn't that expensive. I'll give it a wee go. It's probably going to be rubbish, but why not? And then I went into FOP, which I love. So I think more people should talk about how good... Sorry, I'm trying to reach these. More people should talk about how good FOP is, because FOP is just amazing. They always have really good like movie collections or company collections, and there was a few in FOP. So the first lot are blaxploitation. So I love blaxploitation. I think it's a perfect genre of movies. I love Pam Grier, and I think that's a big part of why I love them so much. And they had like a whole section in there like just for blaxploitation movies. So I'll show you the ones that I've got. And the thing is, I've actually never seen any of these, so I'm looking forward to watching them. And that is Black Caesar. Also got Black Dynamite, Cleopatra Jones, which kind of looks like Foxy Brown, but I think it'll be good, so I'm looking forward to it. Maybe she'll have a black belt in Barstool too. Now this is one of the ones that popped up in a documentary I was watching. I think it might have been the Video Nasties one, and I've never even seen it for sale. So Sweetback's Badass Song. So I figured I'll give that one a go. And then Claire was also like talking about Pam Grier and movies that we haven't seen that she's been in, and Jack Hill films, because we really like Jack Hill. And these were three, I think the last one's not actually Jack Hill if I remember correctly, but these were the ones that we'd never seen, and they were sort of the harder ones to find. And geez, this one's in a different language. I hope it plays in English. Claire ordered it, not my fault if it doesn't. But she got Big Doll's House, The Big Birdcage, and Women in Cages. So I'm pretty sure this one isn't Jack Hill, but as I said, it's the back isn't in English, so I really hope it plays in English. No idea. I'll need to put it in and test it, but it wasn't expensive anyway, so looking forward to watching them. FOP also had like a Second Sight sale on. So Second Sight is a sort of underrated company. A lot of people don't really talk about them, but they have released some really good movies here in the UK. So things like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Reanimator, Basket Case. Some really good films, and they're sort of underrated. And when I went into FOP, they had a big sale on a whole load of their stuff. So some of these I just couldn't pass up on. So I got Quest for Fire. Amazing movie, so if you've never seen it, I definitely would recommend this film. I haven't taken the price off this one yet, so I got Ghost Story. I only picked these up to date. I went back in for Warlock, because I didn't even know that Warlock had a DVD release in the UK, and it wasn't there, so I'll need to spy back in during the week and see if it's back. This is a movie which I've always toyed with picking up. Is it Possession? And just never done it. Cover up the boobies. Sorry, as I said, I haven't taken the plastic off yet, so it's got a lot of glare. Really cheap, as you can see. And then the last one, and again, I know this is going to backfire on me, because I remember this movie from childhood, and I just know it's going to be crap watching it. And that was Macking Me, but I just couldn't resist. I thought I have to watch it. It's an E.T. rip-off. I had to watch it and see if it was still as good as I remember. And then also from FOP, I picked up... This is a really good UK movie, and I never in a million years would have thought, like a UK released horror film, I never in a million years would have actually thought it would have got a Blu-ray release, so I was really surprised when I seen it. But, I mean, it is low budget, the acting's a bit iffy, but I enjoy it, and I think it's a good film, and that is Cradle of Fear. It's got Danny Filth in it, it's from Cradle of Filth, and it's a kind of an anthology, but I enjoy it. It is cheap made, but I think it's got a lot of character. They will leave it at that, it's got character. I might have to do this video in 2 parts, but I'll see how much I can squeeze in. So Steelbook wise, I got in Resident Evil The Final Chapter, pre-ordered this for Claire, you know she's a big Resident Evil fan. Arrow video wise, I went into HMV and did their 2 for 25 and picked up is it Kaltiki? I might be saying that wrong. The Immortal Monster and City of the Dead. So yeah, it was cheaper to get the 2 for 25 than it was to buy them direct from Arrow themselves in this case. And I also got a couple from 101 Films, so I got, yes, don't say it, hiss it. Never seen this, always been interested in it, so finally glad to get a copy of it. And then a kind of underrated 90s slasher. I think it's a good slasher. Oh, actually, it wasn't the 90s, it was the start of the noughties. But yeah, I quite enjoy this slasher. I think it's a different take, and it's Cherry Falls. And also, just in the door today from Arrow Video, so I haven't even taken it out of the wrapper, but it's a beautiful box set. I'm not sure about the artwork on the front, but I do love this movie, and that is the bird with the crystal plumage. So yeah, beautiful box set. As I said, haven't even opened it, so I can't even show you what's inside it yet. And then from 88 Films again, just in the door today, so I haven't even opened it, but I've been really looking forward to this one and glad to finally have it. And it's I Drink Your Blood. So yeah, glad to have that one. It's their very first 88 Vault collection, so it's a new collection that they started doing. I'm looking forward to some of the stuff they've announced from this collection, so I like a lot of the stuff that 88's been releasing just now. Some really good titles coming, especially in the slasher collection. There's been some really, really good titles announced recently. And then the last thing I picked up this week, and this, well, actually I didn't pick it up, Claire gave me it, and it was a congratulations, because I said to you I went on Monday for a job interview. I got the job, so Claire was very proud of me, she said, so this is the reason why she picked this up for me, and I'm so happy to have it. I've been eyeing it for ages, but it is expensive, and I always tend to try and hint the expensive stuff to Claire for birthdays and Christmases, so I was really happy when she picked this up for me. And it's a Criterion release of The Lone Wolf and Cub. Yet all movies that you can see, there's loads of them there that I've been wanting for a long time, so I'm really, really glad to have this in my collection. Claire always laughs at me because I don't go and get all excited about stuff very often. So sometimes when she gives me things, she expects me to be like, oh my god, but I don't really do that. Although I did do it when I found out I had that job because I really wanted it, and I did really try hard to get it, so I'm proud of myself. But yeah, she was like, oh, do you not want it? But she gave it to me before I found out that I had the job, so now I can express how happy I am to have this box set, because it's a beautiful box set. I'm really glad to have it. I'm really looking forward to watching all these movies. Now I just need some sort of time. Maybe if I had a control to pause and watch, pause time and get time to watch all these films, that would be good. But yeah, now I just need time to watch them all. So as always, thank you for watching. If you want to chat about any of these movies or talk about any of them and say whether they're good films or crap films, or we like to talk about our films. So as always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and take care.